Hey, it's Ace at the Spot. I hope everyone is doing well. I know it can be a really tough time for people out there, so I hope you're finding joy and happiness in your day. The highlight for me over the last few days was getting a haircut by my wife, and it doesn't suck. I think it looks pretty decent. My barber, Miguel, should be worried. No, not at all. I miss going to the shop. Hopefully we can do that soon enough. In the meantime, we will use our FPL teams to distract us from the craziness in the world. And in this Game Week 20 preview show, I'll be talking about the top FPL players in each of the upcoming fixtures. Thank you to everyone who's liked the videos and subscribed to the channel. We're over 100 subscribers now at the Spot for Fantasy Footballers, so thank you so much for your support. All right, in this video, I'll talk about the top FPL players heading into each fixture using the 4-game average, which is what I commonly use here at the Spot, instead of the form rating that the FPL site uses, which looks at a 30-day window, which is just inconsistent. Some players will play 3 games in that 30-day window. Some players will play 5 or even 6. So 4 days, I think, is a consistent average, and that's what I prefer to use. All right, let's get into it. For each of these fixtures, I'll mention 2 players from each team, starting with the home side. Newcastle has scored just 1 goal in their last 6 matches. They desperately need Callum Wilson to find the net again. He's obviously happy to have Alan St. Maximin back in the lineup. Wilson scored 6 of his 8 goals this season before St. Max's injury in Week 9. For Leeds, defender Stuart Dallas has been one of the most consistent players at the club, scoring more than 4 points in a match 9 times this season. Up top, Patrick Bamford has scored 10 goals so far, but is currently in a 3-match drought in Premier League play. Prior to this stretch, he hadn't gone 2 games without scoring a goal. Next up, Crystal Palace versus West Ham. Vicente Guaita was in fine form before Palace's 4-0 loss to Man City. Despite the 0 in that result, he's averaging 6.5 fantasy points in his last 4, and the team's leading scorer, Wilfred Zaha, missed that City match with an injury. They'll need him against West Ham, especially with the way Aaron Cresswell and the Hammers defense has been, allowing just 1 goal in their last 4, and the offense has been boosted by the return of Mikel Antonio. The forward has scored in consecutive games, earning 9 points in each of those. Next up, Southampton versus Arsenal. Jan Bednarek is averaging 6 points in his last 4 matches. Southampton have earned 6 clean sheets at home this season. Forward Danny Ings has been in the middle of recent transfer rumors. The striker has scored 7 goals so far this season for Southampton. On the other side, Arsenal's Bernd Leno is on a 4-match clean sheet streak, averaging 6.25 fantasy points in that span, and Alex Lacazette's form has improved in 2021. He had a stretch of 4 goals in 3 games and is averaging 5 3/4 in his last 4. Moving on to West Brom and Man City. West Brom's Mateus Pereira has scored 3 goals in his last 2 matches, good for 24 points in the double game Week 19. Forward Callum Robinson has struggled to find the net with just 2 goals this season, but did get credited with a couple assists against Wolves. Meanwhile, Man City has been in fine form, and they'll be without their fantasy point leader, Kevin De Bruyne, but defensively, they've been hard to break down. John Stones has been on the field for just 2 conceded goals this season, and is averaging 8.75 fantasy points in his last 4 outings. And up top, Raheem Sterling might be the one to pick up some of the slack left by KDB. Now to Chelsea versus Wolves. This match is a mystery, and I can't wait to see what impact new Chelsea boss Thomas Tuchel will have. Let's start with someone he has some history with. Christian Pulisic has just 1 goal this season and is hoping his former Dortmund boss will help him find the net once again. Meanwhile, Timo Werner will take anything to improve his luck right now. Wolves have struggled altogether recently as well. Their last league win was December 15th against Chelsea, though. It's also the last time Pedro Neto scored. Defender Romain Saiz has recorded a couple goals since then, though. I have no idea how this game is going to go, so let's just move on. Let's get to Burnley versus Aston Villa. Burnley will buckle down and play some boring ball, backed by Ben Mee and Nick Pope. Not much else to say about it. Aston Villa, on the other hand, have a variety of attacking options, and defensively, Matt Targett is among the best fantasy defenders in the league. Jack Grealish is the team's leading scorer with 105 points, but he hasn't scored in his last 8 matches. So this video is all about giving you a glimpse at some of the top FPL players in each of the upcoming fixtures, but I know you have questions about who to move in and who to ship out. Let me know in the comments below what you're thinking, or hit me up on Twitter at @thespot4ff. Now to Brighton and Fulham. Brighton's Neil Maupay has quietly been pretty consistent, scoring in 3 of his last 5 matches and has 7 goals so far this season. Leandro Trossard is the creative attacker on the team and might be one to keep an eye on for the second half of the season. Speaking of ones to watch, Ademola Lookman is heating up for Fulham, and Ruben Loftus-Cheek is someone who looks like they're ready to break out as well. So this is the breakout match with fantasy points galore that no one will benefit from. 3-3 is the final, I'm calling it. Moving on to Manchester United versus Sheffield United, Paul Pogba just scores great goals, and he's got a couple of those in his last 3 games. And the second highest fantasy scorer heading into the game week, Bruno Fernandes, is averaging 5 points in his last 4. There will be points for United players in this game. Who's going to get them, though? We'll find out soon enough. If Sheffield somehow find a way to get a goal in this, David McGoldrick and or John Fleck will probably have something to do with it. Everton versus Leicester is one that I'm really looking forward to. I think the Toffees take this one, and I'm expecting a big game from James Rodriguez, but it won't be easy to beat Kasper Schmeichel. He's coming off back-to-back clean sheets. And finally, Tottenham versus Liverpool. Let's start with the Spurs stars. The attack revolves around Harry Kane and Son Heung-min. The two are in the top 3 fantasy point getters this season, and they don't appear to be slowing down. Meanwhile, for Liverpool, it just doesn't look the same. Andrew Robertson has been their most consistent fantasy player, and Mo Salah is looking to snap a 5-game goalless drought. All right, that's the show. Good luck this week. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, ding the bell so you're notified every time I drop new content. Have fun, stay safe. Thanks for hanging out at the spot.